Let's see. How could let's see. How can I begin this morning? Oh yeah, I know what to do. Dear South Carolina, as well as Illinois on the men's side, Gino Auriemma, and a few other things from the Final Four draft, and to the Los Angeles Raiders. What the are you doing?
We'll explain a bit.
Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh, yeah! Brother, have we got a ton of stuff to talk about today? Good morning. Welcome to the, I don't know what to call this, except a Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. Victor Locke is here with us from Chicago. We'll be joined by Chris Dietz in a little bit. Victor,
right.
how are you this morning, my friend?
Oh man, you know what's funny? I've actually started using it in my Teams chat. In my Teams chat, I've used "Good morning."
I don't know what year I started doing that.
I'm not sure.
I don't know what year. I think it was year 5 when I started using a version of that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the year. I know it was before I left Mom's house.
Yes.
It was before I left Mom's house when I started using a version of that because my good friend Josh Lopez would hang out with us. I'm gonna see if he can hang out with us again.
All right.
Anyway, first hour presented by Fanatics, officially licensed everything. We're at 13 past the hour because I dozed off in this chair again, and me and the boys were in the back just shooting the ish.
It's like there wasn't the Broncos and Raiders game on.
No. I got one worse than that. It was like the Broncos and the Colts from 4 years ago.
Oh, the game that never ended and everyone wanted it to.
I wanted it to end at halftime. Lauren Betts and the UCLA Lady Bruins are the national champions. Congratulations to them. I have a question for Dawn Staley. But first, I have something for Gino Auriemma, and it looks like this.
In the surprise of the tournament.
I never thought I would say this about one Gino Auriemma. Oops, my camera's off.
I see you.
Excuse me. Gino Auriemma, what the hell was that? What was that tantrum at the end of the game because your team got socked in the mouth and kicked in the ass?
And we were just singing that. They were just singing Gino's praises this past Friday
I mean,
with the lovely
couldn't
Allie.
you have walked out with a little bit of class?
A little bit of grace.
Huh?
You've been here before.
Could you walk off the floor, shake Dawn Staley's hand, tell her nice job, and walked off with a little with just a teensy bit of class?
You didn't have to go and pull a full LeBron.
That was
James,
just
bro.
more. You didn't have to pull a full LeBron James for that. You didn't have to do that at all.
No.
Okay. I realize you're frustrated because South Carolina put the clamps on you.
South Carolina.
I realize South Carolina out hustled you. They outmanned you. They outplayed you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
What?
No, that's not what happened. And
Okay, what happened?
and we can, we can get on Gino. Gino should have been more professional. But you say, oh, he tried to shake Dawn Staley's hand, and the whole dust up, the whole dust up was stuff that we didn't see because they don't show it pregame.
Okay.
It was pregame. Dawn Staley refused to shake Gino's hand before the matchup because that's what always happens. Coaches shake hands. They say, "Hey, coach, good game. Let's have it. Let's go." Dawn Staley refused to shake his hand before the game, so he went up to her and said that was unprofessional. Now, did getting his butt kicked, getting their butt kicked by 20 points, did that have something to do with it? Absolutely, because we all know Gino's a fired up guy. So I'm sure he was
okay.
He hates to lose.
But the thing is, we always see the end of the game handshake. We don't see the pregame. We don't get to see the pregame. So nobody knew what was going on.
Unless you're there in the facility, you don't get to see the pregame. So it was the pregame that had him pissed off, not the postgame. Right? Am I saying this correctly? Okay, then you know what? Given that,
it doesn't excuse what he did. I mean,
right.
You're Gino Auriemma. You've been there 9 million times. Like, every camera in the building is on you.
Looking at you, yes.
Like, you need to be better. You need to be better than that because you're Gino Auriemma.
At the end,
that's what said. But then, you know what? Nothing was better than watching Dawn Staley break down and play victim after the game, and nearly coming to tears because Gino Auriemma, yelled at her or whatever. Give me a break, Dawn. You've been a basketball player. I'm sure you've heard worse. While playing any backyard court, I'm sure you've heard worse than. So don't stop with the crocodile tears, and then UCLA comes out and puts a foot in them. So you know what? Like I said in the chat, gives her a real reason to play victim. Like stop with the false victimhood. You didn't get like admonished. Like Gino came out, he apologized, said he should have acted better, and we all agree he should know what he's doing. But at the same time, Dawn Staley, have some thick skin. You're in the coaching game. Like this is what happens.
It's basically of both hands are just equally dirty.
So it's both sides, not just one side. Okay.
Because
the part that Dietz brought up about the pregame ritual, that I miss. I totally missed that. Does it excuse Gino Auriemma? No, it doesn't.
I'm gonna say this. It's a situation of both sides are equally dirty, but if you're Gino Auriemma, you have to protect your brand.
Right.
Especially with you being part of a dynasty. We've said this a lot with people like Phil Jackson, like Bill Belichick. When you're the coach of a dynasty, everyone's looking at you to mess up.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking for you to mess
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
and they could take some away from what you do. You have to be on your P's and
Okay.
Q's.
Okay. So, all right. I can allow that. I can allow that because Dietz brings up a wonderful point. And Dietz, I'm so glad you did, and I'm glad I brought you on. I was waiting to introduce you properly, but he was giving me the cue in the back. That part I didn't know. I did not know that it was the pregame stuff. And it's what you said. Both sides are equally guilty. Equally guilty.
Yeah.
That I didn't see. And I will admit this on the air. I did not see that part coming. I did not. Because in covering games in person, I will say that I have seen teams make the pregame handshake.
Yeah.
And I understand that. And he's right. He is absolutely right. So for that part I didn't see, and I'm working on like a few hours of sleep and some meds in me. So y'all got to forgive me for being a little bit off.
I mean,
I missed it.
this
I
happens
apologize to everybody.
every coaching, at every level. Like,
Right.
even when I was coaching in high school, like before the game, all of our coaches, even our biggest rivals, we would walk up. Most of us knew each other. Most of the people in the coaching fraternity know each other.
Right.
So we would sit there before the game and say, hey, start talking about things if we knew the people, have a conversation, and then say, hey, coach, have a good game. We'll see you at the end of this. Like that,
okay.
That happens at every level before every game. No matter what the circumstance is, you always do that. And to go back to Gino, I mean, we talked about it a couple weeks ago with Allie. Like Gino Auriemma and Pat Summitt, no two people are more competitive, more at each other's throats during the game. They were able to shake hands before and after the games.
Yeah, they always did.
Even they were able to do it.
Mm-hmm. I
think that's what Gino. I think that's what Gino expressed. No one knows what was said, but except for Don Staley and maybe the people in the direct vicinity of that. Right. But nobody knows except for Don Staley and Gino Auriemma what was actually said. I'm sure it was something like, "Hey, you're no Pat Summitt. Like, you respect the decorum." Something to those natures of, hey, you're not above the rest of us.
Okay. That part I get it now.
So
does it excuse what Gino did? No, but it doesn't excuse Don Staley either. And he brings up a great point about Don Staley claiming victimhood not once but twice after they beat the hell out of UConn, and then they get beat the hell out of by UCLA. Okay. So you know what? I just got a masterclass in journalism because there were a couple parts that I missed from this man.
Passionate.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight!
Totally.
This one has a chance!
Deeds.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
Today, we'll talk more about the UCLA Lady Bruins starting a new tradition. Maybe, but they're going to lose a lot of firepower. But congratulations to Lauren Betts, the most outstanding player, and the Bruins for winning the championship. We'll discuss their destruction of South Carolina a little bit later. We got a break, and when we come back, Deez brought up a point in the back room, and we need to talk about why is Ty Simpson being hyped up in the draft. We'll discuss more in a deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
There is a road laid out for me, leading down to
boxes everywhere. And this is gonna be Addie's room.
I am blind, but I need not see.
I think you're really gonna like it.
I know this road is there for me. There is a love waiting for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Waist down by the river. I am blind, but I need not see. I know this love is there for me.
Nice and slow.
I got this. Take me down to the river and wash me.
Okay. What do you think?
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Looking for the best way to experience live events? Well, SeatGeek has you covered. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for concerts, sports, theater, and more. Don't miss out on unforgettable moments. Download the SeatGeek app today and get ready for an experience like no other. Each ticket is vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale. And right now, if you sign up and use the code SNOWMAN, you will get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek, where fans can fan.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. The Big Ten.
You can say you're not impressed. You can say you're not happy. You can say all these things, but no, whatever the case may be, the Buckeyes are on top of the football world. And it's just where it is.
The SEC.
And what does Georgia do? Well, as a team that has a championship pedigree would do, they came out full guns blazing, just like a tested SEC team would do. And
Big 12.
That team right there that is ranked 15 that put up 45 points.
Yes, sir.
They were picked dead last at the beginning of the season.
The ACC.
Start with the biggest name first. Chapel Bill now. It's no longer called Chapel Hill. It's called Chapel Bill because Bill Belichick is now the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. The CLP rankings, do away with that.
Right.
Do away with it.
Bring down the gridiron on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts. Because we take this job so serious.
And Father O'Shaughnessy need to go to hell. That's what he needs.
What did Father O'Shaughnessy do?
I quit. We're done here. I'm done. We're out of here.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Playmakers with us says Dietz is wrong. They shook hands pregame. Numerous people acknowledged Dawn and Gino shaking hands pregame. John Watson is with us, and the mentioned idea Walton. Zakia McCoy. We'll see the joy a little bit later. Of course, my friend RC is with us. Your response to that comment, Dietz, that Playmaker said.
I can tell you what was all I can tell you is what was reported on WNBC, WVIT Channel 30 here in Connecticut. That's what was reported. Was that it was a pregame issue, and he brought it up at the end. Whether it was because they didn't shake hands, whether it was something that was said during, they said it was a pregame issue with the handshake before the game.
Okay, hang tight a minute.
That was reported by NBC.
Okay. Winnie.
So,
hold on, guys. I thought we lost Winnie, but Winnie was just outside wrestling with the guys. She started scratching at the door. Okay. Yeah, we're off the rails. Halfway through hour number 1, and this guy's waiting for us.
Lord have mercy on my soul.
Why?
Because I remember distinctly when we were making our picks for the women's side of the bracket. I really, really wanted to say, oh, well, I think UCLA will do it. But my brain wouldn't even let me say it.
Why?
Because when I go against the grain once, I look crazy. I go against the grain twice, I look stupid.
Did you go against the grain in the championship?
I picked UCLA to win it. When it came to the betting part, I picked UCLA.
I'm not betting any. I've never bet in the first place.
I haven't either.
Not since my mom had like a football pool, and not since I did it for a couple of teachers of mine in 1989. I have not bet. I won't bet ever. I gotta tell you all the funny story. In 1989, the team to beat in the NFL, of course, at that time was San Francisco. So a teacher comes up to me, who was also one of the baseball coaches, and said, I have a proposition for you. So what's that?
Proposition Joe.
Yep, Proposition Joe, absolutely. He says, every time San Francisco wins, I'll buy you lunch. Okay, you're on.
Oh, no.
San Francisco won 14 times in the regular season.
Yep.
14?
14. They were 14-2. Remember at the time, Bill Walsh had retired.
2 times.
George Seifert had taken over.
Yep.
And a lot of guys are saying, well, looks like the Niners won't do anything. Why? Because Bill Walsh retired. Okay, George Seifert will do the same thing Bill Walsh did. And that teacher kind of heard that conversation in the lunchroom, which is what we do here. We take conversations in the lunchroom about sports. We add a little coaching to it, as Dietz can attest, and I, for that matter, because I did coach a Little League team once upon a time, and we bring it to the air. So that teacher, who turned out to be a very dear friend and very helpful, had to buy my lunch 14 times that year. Then came the playoffs, every teacher on the second floor was in a pool of who would win. So the divisional opponent was, of course, Minnesota. And I had one of the art teachers come up to me and said, look, I am betting on Minnesota. I looked him in the eye and I said, don't do that. And he says, why not? Minnesota's got the team. Yeah, San Francisco's better. And I looked at him and I said, are you really going to bet against the 49ers? He wrote his pick down and he said, Minnesota. I said, okay, I'll make you a bet of my own. What's that? If Minnesota wins, I'll buy you lunch. If San Francisco wins, you owe me lunch for a month. You're on. Yeah. San Francisco scored 41 points. And that teacher was so playfully mad at me for the next month.
Yep.
I walked home and my mother says, why are you smiling so big? I said, the same reason I won you money in the playoff pool. She said nothing after that.
I know she did.
Then came the NFC Championship, of course, at the time against the Los Angeles Rams. Now, I can honestly tell you that the teachers were split on this one. Some actually believed, and I'm gonna make Dietz laugh. Dietz has ridden shotgun with us for 9 years now, gonna be 10 come Labor Day. Dietz, some people actually believed in Jim Everett for that NFC Championship game. And they came to me
and not Jim Rome.
And not Jim Rome. Right. Some people actually believe in Jim.
That was the end of Jim Everett.
You remember that incident. And they started whispering to me saying, how much of a chance do the Rams have? Absolutely none. They're gonna get I said to one teacher who hung out in the computer lab with us one day, I said, they're gonna get swallowed up like the ghost on Pac-Man. Why did I say that aloud?
No chance with Chris Everett at quarterback. No chance.
Right.
Said Chris Everett. You wrong, Dietz. Dietz is foul for that joke.
That's one of the best. That's one of the best moments in journalism.
Yep.
Call me Chris again. You won't do it. Okay, Chris. Bam. And it built Jim Rome a career. He made a career off that one interview.
Right.
Milan Pacheco and Napoleon Dynamite with us. I said, you actually believe in Jim Everett? They said, yeah. Why are you doing this? Then money started being discussed, and there was a strict rule. Just a moment. There was a strict rule in the school that I did not know about. And the rule was no student can collect any money off of the football pool. I better do this properly. No student can collect money off a football pool.
That's a lie. Right.
Because half the kids in there knew about it. They just didn't want to attack it because there could be what's the last word in John Wick, in the John Wick series? Consequences. I was the only one brave enough to give them advice. And the NFC Championship, the teacher that paid my lunch every week for a month said, how bad will it get in Candlestick Park? I said the Rams won't even score a touchdown. I didn't know what the hell I was saying. I go home and my mother asked me the same question. How bad will it get on Sunday? I said the Rams will not score a touchdown. I said it in school and I'll say it here. The Rams ain't going to score a touchdown on Sunday.
You said quote?
I did. I said quote. The Rams will not score a touchdown on Sunday. Close quote.
And what happened?
The glare on my mother's face after the Niners chip, chop, and fricasseed the Rams 30-3. And remember, the Rams scored first in that game and never scored again. My mother walked up to my room and glared at me and said, I hate you right now, while she's laughing. I said, Mom, why do you hate me? Because you were right. The Rams didn't score a touchdown in the game.
Why do you hate me? Why? What'd I do?
You know what I told my mother? I said something with Dad in earshot that she never forgave me for. And I'm going to make a clip of this. I told her, quote, what did I say? What did I say?
And she said, shut up.
Exactamundo.
Shut up.
Then came the Super Bowl 2 weeks later. And that same week was the science fair. Dear Lord in heaven, I made I did my research, compiled my research, made my project, but I needed something flashy, or so I thought. So what does old snowman do? I put about 3 pieces of, you remember, Victor, you remember the old flimsy poster board that was like 39 cents at a store?
Yep. I remember.
No matter where it was, whether it be Walmart or Jewel Osco or wherever.
Yep, I remember.
Flimsy ass poster board was 39 cents. I bought 4 of them. And I drew the field, how the field would look at the Super Bowl. I went through a lot of coloring pencils and markers that week. Wound up winning the thing. And wound up also, because of the teachers, slipping me $1,000. All because Joe Montana threw 5 touchdowns. Now, the trick was I couldn't collect it until the end of the year. So what they did, they made a private scholarship fund about it, quote unquote. And that's when I got the $1,000. Did I tell my parents about this? Not a chance. So that's the final time I bet on anything and won. I haven't bet since. Gina's with us saying, good morning, Snowman. Happy Monday. Sending love and support and prayers to you. I thank you for that. And I ask you guys, I asked the folks in the Pure Adrenaline Sports chat, I'll ask it here. Do me a favor and keep my wife in your prayers for me. I can't say more at this point, but just keep her in your prayers for me. Go ahead, Deeds.
It's funny. It's funny how similar, we have. Because I have a story off of that when I was in 8th grade, and because we're talking about the NCAA tournament, when I was in 8th grade, I printed out like 400 brackets. Just passed them out to people. Hey, $5, get it in. Winner, I'll calculate it up. Whoever gets the most picks, right? Winner takes all, right?
Yeah.
So I did this for like a week straight.
Yeah.
And over the loudspeaker, they announced no betting on school premises. I was the only one running the school. Everybody in the school knew I was running the pool. Everybody knew it. Yes. They just announced it over the thing, and I was like, "Yeah, whatever, dude." I was like, "Whatever, we're gonna get this." I had people handing me. I had people handing me brackets folded up like we're slipping drugs. Like we're slipping drugs. People were handing me cash. I had so much stuff going on, but that was my 8th grade year. I was the guy who ran the NCAA pool.
What year was that? What year was that?
That was 1996. 1997.
Yeah, Arizona won that year, 1997. Yeah. You know what? The same thing went on at my high school for the NCAA tournament. I'm walking around in UNLV paraphernalia. I'm walking around the school in UNLV gear because my mom got me some the last time she and my dad went to Vegas. Same teachers who did the ish for the Super Bowl yanked me aside in my UNLV sweatshirt and they said, "Are they going to be as dominant as I think they are?" Yep. They may have 1 or 2 games during the tournament where they may be tested. Turned out it was only 1. But the weekend of Loyola Marymount and UNLV, that Friday, got to school, and all of my boys who love talking NCAA with me saying, "Is the dream over for Loyola Marymount?" Yes, because UNLV is going to run them over. And UNLV ran them over by 30 points, even though Loyola scored 101 points. If you remember, this final was 131 to 101. Why did I make $250? And all I said was UNLV will win by at least 25. They won by 30. Anywho,
see, this is the crazy thing. This is the crazy thing about the difference. See, I went to public school when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
And then I went on to private school. This is the difference between private and public school. In public school, they made the announcement: no betting, no this, no that. When I got to high school, I was like, oh, I'm going to do the same thing. No, they did it right. My high school did it right out front. They were on Front Street. Teachers had their brackets up on the board. Teachers had their we had brackets up all around. I was like, and I can't even I can't even run a pool here because they're already doing it.
And they
already knew everybody was going to be doing it anyway. So school was like, hey, why don't we just do it? Where public school was like, oh, you're not allowed to do this, and we're like, we're going to do it anyway. Out of here.
See, Victor and I have covered Catholic League events, football, basketball, and sometimes baseball. Victor and I have been there for it. See, I can say this aloud because we both have been there, and I'm an adult now. Catholic League knows how to party.
Yeah,
they know how to tailgate. Okay, in Catholic League games, there were tailgate parties, and lots of them.
I told you about the time I went to a tailgate party, and that was at a Catholic League school. Somebody decided to grill a full-on cow's leg.
Yep.
I'm like, how did you get that in there, first and foremost?
How did that fit in? And second off,
who's all going to eat this?
So who ate it?
Everybody.
I thought so.
What type of family of 7 is going to eat this?
It was the entire parking lot. Everybody got a piece.
When I did Brother Rice St. Rita in 2000, hold on. When I did
everybody came. It didn't matter. It didn't matter what side you were on. It didn't matter what side you were on. You were getting the people. You were getting the people. They were just they would do that in the parking lot of our games. They were just handing stuff out.
Yep.
When I did Brother Rice St. Rita in 2002, and I shared this with my friend John Leahy in an episode of Mike to Mike, I had to climb on top of the roof because there was no room in the press box. It was the biggest matchup in the area, number 2 versus number 3, not just in the area, but in the state. When it started raining, I said, all right, we're gonna be a while, because it was a grass field at the time, and it turned to complete mush.
Right.
It turned into mush. Couldn't see the how did George Carlin put it? Football is played in any kind of weather. Rain, sleet, snow, hail, mud. Can't read the numbers on the field. Can't read the yard markers. Can't see the players' numbers. The struggle will continue. By the time the second overtime hit, that's exactly what it was, because it rained during the first half of the game and part of the third quarter. The game wound up going 6 overtimes. There was a tailgate party that I walked through, and some folks were congratulating me because they heard my broadcast and all, even in the rain. When I got home, and I had 2 plates of whatever they were serving there, it turned out to be grilled sausage, grilled hot dogs, the works. 2 carry home plates of that. When I got home and put my food in the fridge, my trench coat felt a little heavy.
You got a pair of beers.
I got 6 beers.
6 beers.
What?
And a Bloody Mary.
There were people that were slipping beer into my pocket while I was walking to the bus to get home. Betting stories and more here on Snowman in the Morning. That's what we're sharing right now. When we come back from a break, we got more stuff to take us to the top of the hour. Playmakers on the way, and so is Jay Spivey. This is the twisted, tripped out, tripped up, Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
There is a road laid out for me, leading down to
Boxes everywhere. And this is gonna be Addie's room.
I am blind, but I need not see.
I think you're really gonna like it.
I know this road is there for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Ways down by the river. I am blind, but I need not see. I know this love is there for me.
Nice and slow.
I got this. Take me down to the river and wash me.
Okay. What do you think?
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Looking for the best way to experience live events? Well, SeatGeek has you covered. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for concerts, sports, theater, and more. Don't miss out on unforgettable moments. Download the SeatGeek app today and get ready for an experience like no other. Each ticket is vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale. And right now, if you sign up and use the code Snowman, you will get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek, where fans can fan.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. The Big Ten.
You can say you're not impressed. You can say you're not happy. You can say all these things, but no, whatever the case may be, the Buckeyes are on top of the football world. And it's just where it is.
The SEC.
And what does Georgia do? Well, as a team that has a championship pedigree would do, they came out full guns blazing, just like a tested SEC team would do. And
Big 12.
That team right there that is ranked 15 that put up 45 points.
Yes, sir.
They were picked dead last at the beginning of the season.
The ACC.
Start with the biggest name first. Chapel Bill now. It's no longer called Chapel Hill. It's called Chapel Bill because Bill Belichick is now the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. The CLP rankings, do away with that.
Right.
Do away with it.
Bring down the gridiron on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts. Because we take this job so serious.
And Father O'Shaughnessy need to go to hell. That's what he needs.
What did Father O'Shaughnessy do?
I quit. We're done here. I'm done. We're out of here.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Different browsers to bring this to you. Indeed seems to be holding up pretty good. And as I say that, he froze.
No, he's fine.
What did Father O'Shaughnessy do?
We don't know.
We still don't know to this day, even if Playmaker is here.
And that was a year ago.
We're never gonna know.
That was a year ago.
I asked Playmaker. He said, "Y'all just wait to Sleepy Giant." We don't even know who the Sleepy Giant was. Well, we do know, and I just said,
Yeah, we don't know. Speaking of the Playmaker, he says he will see us a little later.
Okay.
Jay Spivey will also join us during hour 2 of this afternoon's game and this afternoon's broadcast. I beg your pardon. And Spivey sent me a note yesterday that had me laughing. He said, "What a wonderful championship game." Not.
Oh. Well.
We'll discuss all that during the second hour. Meanwhile, to close hour one, I think I have Droid's bump back because we take this job so serious. I think I have Droid's clip that I'm going to use.
Okay. And that is?
And I have to tell you it's a toss-up. It's either his reaction to Deet saying Kansas is shooting 3-pointers when they should be throwing touchdowns, or the incident where he put the gallon of milk in the cabinet and a cup of milk in the refrigerator.
Put the milk in the cabinet, put the glass of milk in the fridge.
You know you're sleepy when, right?
Right. You know you're tired. You know you're extremely tired.
That's how I woke up this morning. Jody had to get up and go into work early. She's still listening to us via the headset while she's working. Good morning, honey, and I love you. That's how I woke up this morning, because I was in severe pain because we did a lot of moving this past weekend.
Right.
So I took an extra round of gabapentin, and I coupled it. You ready for this, Victor?
Yeah.
I coupled it with Benadryl.
Oh.
Well, now, why'd you go and do that?
I have no idea why you did that.
I needed to sleep.
There are better ways to sleep.
Yeah, let me match you. That's basically like saying, "Oh, you know, it'd be really nice. Let Mike Tyson knock me out."
Right.
That's how I felt, because I put in my earbuds and I started listening to Sagat's theme music.
Oh God. Yep.
And was gone.
Sleep Aid Central.
I got a kiss from Jody. She snuggled with me. I had Sagat in my ear, and I was a goner. Speaking of Sagat, I got a question for y'all, and I've asked this before, and I want to see if the chat will participate with us. And good morning to the chat, and thank you for sticking with us on this made-up Monday. In a certain game that we love talking about here, when you hear this, what character are you choosing? For me, it's Ken.
Ryu.
What about you, Deets? When you hear that music, which character are you selecting?
Zangief. I can see Deets doing the Zangief spinning pile driver. Like it's nobody's business.
Deets, you're muted, buddy. You're still muted, man. Hold on. Let me see if I can unmute you. Oh, shucks. I can't. We'll come back to him. Droid, who are you choosing?
I'm too young for this.
No, you're not.
I'm too young for this. I don't even know what this music's from.
Street Fighter.
The original?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
If we talking Street Fighter, I'm going Sub-Zero.
That's Mortal Kombat.
That's Mortal Kombat.
Oh, shit. Bro, I just woke up. Give me a break.
And I'm trying to wake up. Deeds, who are you choosing, man?
No, it's funny. It's funny that Droid says that, because that was the only reason I used Ryu, is because his skill set was the same as Sub-Zero. All his moves were exactly the same. So that's the only reason I used Ryu, is because it was the same thing to throw the fireball was the same thing to throw the ice in Sub-Zero.
Yes.
True.
Victor said Ryu. Does this sound familiar?
Yep.
Me, it's either this guy, as it fades out. It's either this guy or it's this guy.
I knew it. Colonel William Guile.
Now, anyone who knows the early parts of Snowman in the Morning when I started this 12 years ago, what was my warm-up music from Street Fighter?
It was Guile.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Vega?
It was this.
Vega. It's Vega.
It was Vega.
From Spain.
The guy that would climb the fence and then try to jump you.
Not that he would climb, he would do it. And then he could suplex you midair.
Mm-hmm.
If you press the button correctly.
And then my mother, my own mother, gave me the thought, why don't you use a sports theme? Okay. So with that in mind, I broke this out. This was the predecessor to the NBA on NBC.
This is the NBA on CBS.
CBS sports coverage of the NBA Finals is brought to you by
Hooked on Bronix.
Shut up! You know what? You know what? Why not? Why not?
That was good. That was a good one.
Droid, I want you to do it. I want you to do it again.
Please.
Okay, hold on. Let me get to the right point. Let me get to the right point. Even Dietz is laughing with that one. That was perfect. I have this on loop when I'm in production almost every time.
All the time.
All the time. CBS sports coverage of the NBA Finals is brought to you by
Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronzexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YO. I'm Ray NZPL, and I approve all this.
Oh my god.
No, I haven't played that. I haven't played that time or two on this show at all.
Ray with the broken hat.
Hat broke to the side and everything.
Everything.
He may appear this week.
Oh,
Ray.
May being the operative word.
We'll see.
2 after the hour, we owe you a break, an ID after that, and then we'll take you around the world of sports on a scoreboard edition. On our scoreboard edition presented by Invader Coffee. Hour 2 begins in a deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me
Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Cause we take this job so serious.
I don't have a suggestion as to anything but keep the bitch. Keep her. If she does not,
Wow. What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Damn.
Yeah.
The first of many mic drop moments with Mic Drop Moran. And that response right there is the reason we gave her the nickname.
And we'll get more on Friday because she's going to have a couple.
Oh, she's going to have a ton. She's going to have a ton. Napoleon Dynamite, which special appearance will be worse, Ray Ray or Tam? How about option C, both?
I can kind of stomach Ray Ray. I can't stomach Tam.
No one can stomach Tam. He says, if Ray Ray returns while Vikala is on, we get an official return of Infinity Trash.
You get a war is what you're going to get.
Napoleon, I hate to correct you, sir, but Infinity Trash never went away.
No, it didn't.
Partially in thanks to you.
Right. Especially the past Wednesday. Anywho.
11:06, and we owe you an ID. This is Snowman in the Morning on the Snowman Multimedia Sports Network.
From the Snowman Multimedia Studios, this is Snowman in the Morning. Broadcasting live across the country and streaming worldwide. Heard on our incredible family of affiliate stations, from the South to the Midwest to the Carolinas and beyond. If you're listening on one of our partner stations, we see you, we appreciate you, and we're just getting started. Where the hottest of hot takes meet the coldest of cold hard facts. For fans, by fans, all heart, all action. This is Snowman Multimedia.
Holy on smoke! I am too old for this bull. I'm the juggernaut, bitch! Oh, hell no! I ain't got no time for this bull.
I told him
now.
I told him we worked him into the
bump back,
the ID.
Yeah.
And he started cracking up. He says, "Which sound did you use?" I said we used them both.
Oh, Mr. BGS.
Yes, sir. The master teacher himself. All right, time for something we're going to reincorporate into the program. Every single morning that you hear us, every single hour that you hear us, we will have the Snowman Multimedia Sports Network game day break. The scoreboard update, I beg your pardon. Jeez Louise, is Victor suffering cuteness withdrawal? We all are.
But I'm going to say, since he's not here, it's that time again for the Snowman SeatGeek scoreboard Cutie Empress update.
Yeah, the Cutie Queen Empress update. I'm renaming it officially. In the NBA yesterday, it was the Celtics over the Raptors, 115-101. Suns go down. Suns beat the Bulls, I beg your pardon, 120-110. Cavs over the Pacers, 117-108. Hornets better than the Timberwolves. What the hell? 122-108 is the final. Rockets escape a buzzer-beating attempt by Steph Curry, 117-116. And the Brooklyn Mess won a game. What the hell is going? Well, they played the Wizards. There you go.
The shadow realm.
They're still in the shadow realm, and so are the Wizards. 121-115 is the final score there. Bucks over the Grizzlies, 131-115. Magic beat the What? The Magic beat the Pelicans, 112-108. The Oklahoma City Thunder broke out the whooping stick on the Jazz, 146-111. The Mavericks over the Lakers, thank you, Jesus, 134-128. And it was the Clippers over the Sacramento Queens, 138-109. All right. Today in the association, 3 games on the docket as we no. Check that. 5 games on the docket. Sixers and Spurs go at 8. Night starts off with Knicks and Hawks. That's at 7, and the Hawks are 12 games over 500. Well, Trey Young getting gone help them.
Yep.
Pistons travel to Orlando to face the Magic with playoff implications. Cavaliers and Grizzlies going at it in Memphis. And the last game of the night, the Portland Jail Blazers taking on the Denver Nuggets. And yes, I said it right, the Portland Jail Blazers. An old joke from back in the day, and Victor recognizes that.
Yes, I do.
Major League Baseball yesterday, it was the Dodgers coming back to beat the Nationals 8-6. Our White Sox swept the Blue Jays. What?
Wow.
They shut them out yesterday, 3-0. A walk-off for the Athletics in the 10th inning, a 3-run walk-off. They take 2 of 3 from the Astros and beat the Astros 12-10. Mets over the Giants 5-2. Angels beat the Mariners in 11, 8-7. It was the Cardinals over the Tigers 5-3. The Cubs over the Cleveland Indians, that final 1-0. Say what? The Cubs are winning 1-winning games? What? I said the Cubs are winning 1-run games? What? I said the Cubs are winning. What? Pirates over the Orioles, which makes Dr. DeLay happy, as well as a few other Pirate fans I know. 8-2 was that final. Marlins over the Yankees 7-6. Tell me how that happened. The Marlins have a good lineup. That's how that happened. Padres over Shane's Red Sox. Sorry, Shaner. 8-6. It was the Brewers over the Royals 8-5. Rays over the Twins in 10, 4-1. Reds over the Rangers 2-1. Rockies better than the Phillies 4-1. Diamondbacks beat the Braves in extras 6-5. And in the second game of the doubleheader, the Indians came. Why is I'm looking at Playmaker's comment.
Why is Orlando in the postseason?
Yeah, exactly. it was the Indians over the Cubs. That final was 6-5. Quit, Playmaker. I'm trying to be serious, and you ain't let me. Doggone it. All right. Tonight. Rooker hit a bomb. Yes, he did. I don't think he hit it out of San Diego, and it's going back to Oakland in the old Coliseum. It hasn't landed just yet. Today in Major League Baseball, it's the Cardinals taking on the Nationals at 3-6. Dodgers take on the Blue Jays in a World Series rematch, and that's at the Skydome. 7:07 is the first pitch. At 7:40 Eastern, the Orioles come to the White Sox, who have won 3 in a row, looking for 4. I'll have that game, and our pregame is at 7:25. First pitch, 7:40. It's the Mariners and the Rangers at 8:05. 8:40, the Astros travel to Colorado to see the Rockies. Phillies go out west to see San Francisco at 9:45. Cubs and Rays kick off the action at 4:10 today. Royals and Indians at 6:10. 6:40 sees the Reds and the Marlins. Padres and Pirates at 6:40. 6:45, Brewers and Red Sox. Go Brewers. Tigers and Twins at 7:40. Who cares? And the last game of the night is in California with the Braves taking on the California Angels. That's the Snowman Scoreboard SeatGeek Cutie Empress update, brought to you by SeatGeek, where fans can fan.
Just heard something outside.
This Jiggle session for Snowman is brought to you by Screwball VPN, the VPN all the way out of left field. Screwball VPN, where we screw with the hackers to keep you safe. You know what? I wish that actually existed. I'm dead serious. I wish that actually existed. Playmaker again.
Can I throw a curveball in here?
Curveball incoming.
Go for it.
Curveball Deets.
How dumb is the NBA to play games tonight?
When the national championship.
Over 75% of your audience is going to be watching the national championship game.
Playmaker. He said, I was hoping you'd call the national championship game tonight. Playmaker, I will have ears to that. Trust me. I got it planned out. I will have ears to that game.
Like, why? What? The championship game is always on Monday, and the NBA. It's not like you're in. It's not like you're in like some kind of. Yeah, you're in game like 78 out of 81. You could play these games tomorrow, and it wouldn't make a difference.
He was about to say a bad word.
Fundamentals.
None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. Why even play games? Give the college game its championship game. Give it its platform. Let it play out, and then you just play the next day. You already played. You have 82 games. You don't need to play on championships Monday.
Speaking of the national championship, it is tonight. The season ends on the. Here's your answer. The season ends on the 12th, and the play-in. Who cares about the play-in? Begins on the 14th. Who cares? It's the play-in tournament is as stupid as the in-season tournament.
Hey, there are plenty of Hornets fans that are really looking forward to the play-in.
I am not one of them.
Well, you're not a Hornets fan.
It should be 1 through 8, and that's that. National championship tonight is at 8:50, and I will have ears to this, so it'll be a dual stream tonight. UConn and Michigan. UConn 34-5, Michigan 36-3, and I'll throw a curveball of my own. It's on TBS instead of CBS. You want to talk about giving it its own platform? As long as I have been watching men's basketball, the national championship game played on CBS, correct?
Yeah.
Now they put it behind a blank. Give me this button. Matter of fact, in lieu of Gino Auriemma's action, here is where'd it go? It moved. Somebody extinguished the hot seat. Playmaker, did you do that? Nope, he didn't. Nope, the hot seat is real. Here's the hot seat for real, right here. Now, give me this camera. Every year, the national championship is played on CBS. Okay? Not True TV, not TNT, not HBO Max, but CBS. But because of something we like to call money, and lots of it, it's behind a paywall. I have one question and one question only. Why? Why are you putting this behind a paywall when there are actual college basketball fans, myself included, that want to see the national championship game on free television? Why is this not on CBS? Every year I've watched the national championship, it was on CBS. It doesn't matter if it was a 4-channel split for the tournament. The regional finals, Final Four, and championship were all on CBS. Period. They dispatched 4 crews to go cover the doggone thing. And for a while, covering one region was the same announced team that would cover the national championship. And for a while, it was Gary Bender and Billy Packer through the 80s. And through the 90s, it was Brent Musburger and Billy Packer. Then Jim Nantz took over for Brent Musburger when he left CBS in 1990 when they wouldn't pay him. And I don't know why. And he jumped to ABC. And he had Brent Musburger had an extraordinary career in ABC. More on that at a later date. But to all of us old school fans, yeah, some people really need it. Absolutely. To all the old school fans, and dear TBS and TNT, y'all everything up when it comes to basketball coverage. I'll say it again, and I know it's because of greed, Sick Diggy, and thank you for that. But y'all everything up when you decide to put it behind a paywall. Have you ever thought about the fact that some people can't buy a damn paywall because they've been through some shit? Huh? Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever thought about the fans that are old school and expect it to be on CBS and they can't get it because you put it behind a paywall? Just because you needed the money? What did Playmaker say? Some people have to have it. Yeah, some people really need it. And you know what song that's from. And if Cole Johnson were sitting in the production seat, I'd be having him hum the tune in my ear. And unfortunately, it's called money. You greedy. Oops. I think that's my cue to stop, and I'm not going to stop. You greedy sturds. You greedy. You f***ed up everything because you had to put the national championship game behind a paywall. And dear ESPN, I'm talking to you too. With the women's tournament behind a simple ass paywall. And that first paywall that we had to pay for was called cable. Anybody remember Sports Vision? Here's a history lesson for you. You know how Sports Vision became to be? Sports Vision began in Chicago. Why? Because of On TV. Anybody remember that? In the early 80s? Anybody remember On TV? I certainly do. They gave you a box and they jumbled it. They jumbled the sports coverage because I can tell you every night I wanted to watch a Bulls game, it was on Sports Vision and it was jumbled behind a damn paywall. You stupid shiz. I hate things being behind a paywall, but I know that's the way the day goes in the 21st century and you need to make money. Snowman Multimedia being a part of this, but I don't want to offer a paywall to the fans that need to and want to and must listen to an old school version of the national championship game or that and the White Sox game, which I'm covering tonight. If you wish to donate to the network, please do. But you f***ed up putting the national, give me this, championship in game behind a f***ing paywall. You stupid chiz. When are you going to be nice to the fans and put the games back on CBS exclusively? They got the crews. They got the people. And if not, hire me and Victor as announcers. We'll cover some of the games for you in the tournament. Hell, I'll bring Deets with us and have him on the sideline. Hell, bring Droid with us. I'll have him cover the other sideline. We know what we're doing. Maybe that's the problem. You bring in cheap in labor that don't know what the they're doing about a damn tournament game. I can't be on today because we have a loaded show today. I can't wait for it. And officially, the Shooting Lights Out show, it will be on the Snowman Multimedia Sports Network. I am fumbling my words today.
Doggone it. Since he's not going to be here, I just make the joke.
Go ahead.
Land on the postseason. Do away with that. Do away with it.
I hate you for that joke. But I agree.
I was going to do it when he was here.
Matter of fact, I'll make this joke. The national championship on TBS, do away with that.
Right.
Do away with it. Do away with the damn paywall so everybody can enjoy the national championship in game. You already got it, so everybody that's sitting in Lucas Oil Stadium and the attendance is going to be over 70,000.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make your money off of that.
Yeah,
but I know rights fees coming to play, commercials coming to play. Hell, they sell the NCAA. I can't talk today. They sell the NCAA tournament like they sell the damn Super Bowl.
Yep.
I'll say it again. They sell the Final Four and the NCAA championship for commercials like they sell commercials for the damn Super Bowl, which is behind a paywall this year.
Yeah.
You fucking. Oh, I slipped.
You do it.
I knew it. I was close. I better stop
jar.
Here.
Look at the sign, son. Look at the sign.
I know. I slipped, and I'm getting yelled at right now. I'm getting laughed at, but I'm getting yelled at.
That too.
My apologies to all the fans. My apologies to the radio stations airing this show. I slipped. I royally slipped.
When you get angry and get this impassioned, it's gonna happen.
I know, but I've made it a point, and I made it a point to you guys that we shouldn't swear, even on passionate subjects like that.
Here's the problem:
I didn't rein myself in. I apologize.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to have so many of these sporting events behind a paywall.
No, it doesn't. Which was my whole point. Go ahead, Victor.
Because now you're basically drying up the interest in the game. Because now people are going to really be willing to pay out the what for for a paywall. It's only going to bring up maybe half the games that you actually have.
They're doing that for cable. They're doing that for cable anyway.
Right.
They're doing, and you know something that's really messed up. Since we're talking about a paywall, MLB TV has been bought by ESPN, right?
Which means there's less availability.
You read my mind. And I was leading up to the game that I wanted to watch the tail end of, but I couldn't, and that was the A's and the Astros. Why? It was available on MLB TV, but there is a problem. You got to get behind a second paywall for that.
A second paywall.
A second paywall. They only offer the majority of games.
Right. It's just sad.
It's truly sad. It's truly sad. That they put it behind, this time I'll do it correctly, a damn paywall.
Right. Yeah, I mean, what the biggest problem is people asking like, well, what's bringing the interest down? The fact that there's no accessibility.
Mm-hmm. Victor, you wanted to say, you've been begging to say something about that for a week. Floor is yours.
Well, here's the problem: is that back in the day, I mean, I would say maybe like 5-6 years ago, you used to be able to just turn on local access TV and you'd get games. Mm-hmm. You know, whether it's Bulls, White Sox, Cubs. I have not seen a Cubs game on WGN. I'd say for the past 3 years, I have not seen.
Because WGN was bought out.
And I'm like, where are the sports games? Where are the games?
Love Gun Merchants in the house is comment for the algorithm. I appreciate it. Hey, if you guys like what you see and what you hear, why don't you consider making a donation to the channel via Cash App or Super Chat? We love your comments.
It just gets aggravating to see less and less and less sports being on.
I mean, that's crazy that you guys live in that area, and you guys aren't getting the Cubs games.
Right.
Like,
Marquee Sports.
I remember back when I had cable. I live in Connecticut, and we used to get IGN. We used to get Cubs games. Like randomly, they would play the Cubs. Cubs game it's really fun.
Deets.
WGN was free. WGN was free around the world, just like TBS was for the longest time.
Here's the crazy thing. WCIU has already advertised that they will cover White Sox games.
Mm-hmm.
The game that Snowman put on, which was the
Sox
Marlins,
Sox
and Marlins. I turned on to WCIU, nothing.
And nothing. Love Gun Merchant with $1.99 says, chilling in Florida with Miami Malcolm tax. I appreciate that.
I just don't understand, like, why can't they make things available so that more? Because if you make it available and people, are getting behind their teams, they may end up, sparing the cheddar for the paywall if you have games that are already available.
And ESPN messed up by making some games not available through their package, because I read everything and it advertised and showed me that if you buy an ESPN streaming package, which I did, and which I renewed, you would get every Major League Baseball game available through MLB TV. Turns out it was a fucking lie because I couldn't get the White Sox games on MLB TV. I had to pay sign up for another service for that.
Yep.
And I couldn't get the Astros and the Athletics either. So they lied when they made that deal.
I will say this: getting the NFL that I did on the NFL on YouTube was really good for this season.
That was a genius. That was a genius. That was a genius idea.
Because it wasn't that expensive, and I was able to catch the games that I needed to catch, even if the games weren't on.
Yeah, and that's the difference. Well, let's discuss this a little further right now with where to go. Where to go? I moved it again.
Only problem was we couldn't get the NBC NFL games.
Right. That's a deal.
Which is why I'm really glad I had Dietz on with me for the Cowboys Packers game, because he was able to get all of it.
Oh my God. And they were at the bar when that happened. Where is my
that infamous call?
Yep.
Yeah, very infamous. Jay Spivey is standing by. Stand by a little bit longer, Jay. I got to grab something really quick. But I think that's going to be our subject for the second half of the show. I mean, why do they make this so darn difficult?
I have no idea.
They put everything behind a blankety blank bleeping paywall. I hate paywalls, man. I've hated paywalls since the NFL was on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday Night Football, anybody?
Yep.
But they made it. Here's Jay. Spivey joins us from North Carolina. Good morning, Jay. How are you?
What's up, guys?
Good morning, Mr. Spivey.
We were talking about sports being behind 4 or 5 different paywalls before you can access it. And I gave the example from yesterday that the ESPN Universal package has Major League Baseball games because apparently MLB TV was swallowed by ESPN.
That's correct.
Which means you're supposed to have access to every single game. That's a lie, because I wanted to catch the end of the Astros and Athletics game, which went to extra innings after the Women's National Championship, and I could not access it. You had to buy a separate MLB.TV package, which thank God I'm subscribed to for a year on the house, thanks to T-Mobile. Why are they doing this? You live in North Carolina, and I know some games are not available. Go on, Jay. Go ahead.
I don't think it's necessarily an ESPN issue in this case, although there are plenty of ESPN issues. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. I think Major League Baseball drastically has to change its blackout rule. It's been needed to be done for years, and they will not do it.
What's the blackout rule? Educate me.
It depends on what region you live in. So if you live in the Chicago area, then basically the White Sox and Cubs and probably a few other teams out that way are blacked out. So if you got the package, then just blacked out. It's just dumb.
It is dumb.
If you don't have the Cubs package on your TV or whatever it might be, if you don't have Marquee or whatever the White Sox is, you expect to get it on MLB TV and it's blacked out, what are you supposed to do?
And that happens a lot. That happens a lot in with NFL too, because there are certain games now.
Right, that's true.
This year,
but it's not as big. It's not nearly as big an issue as it is in NFL. Excuse me, not as nearly as big an issue in football as it is in baseball.
Yeah, yeah. It's just kind of weird that that basically local access has literally no access to any sport, to most sports.
This kind of changed when the Braves were on when they were on TBS and the Cubs were on WGN. It kind of changed after that broke.
It did.
And now baseball's in this old school mentality where everybody, they think they get all these games. Well, for down here, it makes no sense. There are 4 teams down here that are blacked out if they're on another channel. The Braves, obviously, and that's only in part of North Carolina, which makes no sense to me. It only goes to like the central part of North Carolina, which makes no sense to me.
None.
And then the other one, which they have a network down here, and I've never understood why, but it's something. I mean, I watch it. They're on. Why are the Reds considered a North Carolina area team?
I have no idea.
And the other two,
when I lived there, oh my heavens. Oh my heavens!
News. We got breaking news.
Oh Lord!
I
gotta come in with this. I don't think this is an April Fool's joke. Angel Reese has been traded from the Chicago Sky to the Atlanta Dream. That broke just now.
I think that's hilarious.
It is.
I think Chicago probably wish it was.
I think the Sky just waved the white flag.
I bet she's kicking and screaming.
Do you think?
2 years and they gave up.
They gave up on well, she didn't give him nothing to work with.
She didn't have a coach. You really trust in Tyler Marsh?
And then she's overrated? Maybe she's overrated?
I bet she's happy. I bet she's happy. I bet she's happy to be in Atlanta.
This is confirmed. The Sky have traded 2-time WNBA All-Star Angel Reese to the Dream for 2027 and 2028 first-round pick.
And we're the Vegas Raiders.
This is confirmed.
And we're the Las Vegas Raiders, who just signed Kirk 2 Chainz Cousins to 5 years more. I got to ask this to you, Mr. Spivey. What does this say about Vegas that they would sign Kirk Cousins to a 5-year deal, knowing they're going to get the #1 pick in the draft?
Well, essentially,
does this sound familiar to you that the Falcons did the exact same thing?
That's the
exact same thing.
That's where I'm gonna go. Like, it doesn't make sense because, like, at least with the Falcons, it's like they were later in the draft, so they were not sure who they were gonna get. But this one, you're the #1,
and you're drafting Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, Mendoza's.
Well, I don't understand if you knew that. It's not just a one-way street here. Why would Kirk Cousins sign with the Raiders knowing this? Now with the Falcons, he did not. With the Falcons, he did not know that. They did not tell him about this.
They didn't tell him about Penn. They didn't tell him about
This is different. He knew darn well. He knows darn well that Mendoza is going to be #1 pick. So why go there?
I'm thinking this was like maybe a 1, maybe 2 year situation where he's going to be there, probably kind of do what they did with Penix, where he kind of takes the helm, kind of shows Mendoza the ropes, and then he'll.
Yeah, but I mean, there are plenty of other teams that truly need starting quarterbacks.
True.
Right.
Why not sign with them?
Right.
I'm just like, this is crazy.
I am floored. I'm floored that Kirk Cousins took this. Essentially, from what I'm hearing from my sources, essentially, even though it looks good at a 5-year, $172 million contract, essentially, it's the same situation.
It's really a 1 or 2 year deal, essentially.
Yep. Yeah, it's a 1 or 2 year deal.
It's the same situation that we had in Atlanta.
But basically, the Falcons let him rot.
Yes, they did. Because after he got injured,
especially after he got injured, and that injury kind of sped up the process for them to develop Michael Penix, who isn't developed yet, by the way, folks.
Morris fired too.
It did. It got Raheem Morris fired.
Well, the bigger question, which is the NFL question, how much of that 5-year contract is guaranteed?
I think
hardly ever contract is guaranteed after 1 or 2 years.
I mean, I hope what he signed isn't all 5 years are guaranteed, but you've seen it a million times where the first 2 years are guaranteed, and they can just cut them at the end of the 3rd year, and get out scot-free from that contract. So
unless you're Deshaun Watson.
Unless you're Deshaun Watson and you're forced with that, and you're the Cleveland, and we're the Cleveland Browns.
And we're the Cleveland Browns. Brownsville Brown. There's another
Yeah.
question I wanted to ask, and since unlike some individuals down south, we actually do talk baseball,
Yes, we do.
and I'm glad Mrs. Spivey is here. I went on a bit of a tirade this past Thursday about the lack of fundamentals. What is one of the fundamentals that you have seen as sorely lacking, or a list of them, Mr. Spivey? What have you seen as sorely lacking in today's baseball product?
Well, one thing I saw over the weekend, I watched quite a few games over the weekend, is that pitchers aren't covering first base on ground balls.
Nope.
One of them just stood there and watched.
You know what?
When he finally realized what happened, he was way late.
You know what? That was when I was playing baseball, that was one of the first things as a pitcher that we were told. Get your blank over to first base on a ground ball on that side, because you never know when you need it.
But my biggest one by far, I don't care what analytics tells people. If you're a Major League Baseball player and you can't lay down a bunt, you should be a Major League Baseball player.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I would just say that we used to have people who we used to call claw machines, and the reason why I call them that is because when they laid out a bunt, they laid out a bunt so perfect in one spot that they know that no one else can get to it. So either they get the person over or they reach on base, and sometimes it was both. You don't see people practicing bunts. You don't see people practicing squeezes. You don't see people practicing like.
Oh, say that again. Say that situation again, Victor. Say that situation again. A squeeze.
You don't see people. You don't see people coming to first base on a grounder. You barely see people do an effective rundown.
Never.
You know what?
It's like this. I don't know if you saw.
It's not even bunting. It's not even bunting. I mean, bunting is we talked about this before. It's something everybody does. Everybody practices it. Everybody does it. So you can't tell me they can't do it. They just don't do it for reasons I don't know why. But it's not even. It's not even that. It's guys with the bat today. They can't even go opposite field.
No, thank you, Deeks.
That's the whole reason the shift. That's the whole reason they had shifting. That's the whole reason they banned shifting. The whole thing. Guys cannot control the bat. Guys cannot hit the ball opposite field.
Everything's a pull. Everybody's a pull hitter now.
Everybody wants a home run.
The Sox opener. The Sox opener.
Yes.
Snowman did the call. The Sox got the first run and got the last run, but didn't
Via the home run.
because they were both on home runs. And I'm going to ask this: is this an analytics issue, or is it just these players?
Home runs.
I'm talking about the lack of fundamentals as a whole.
Both.
A big chunk of it is yes.
A big chunk of it is analytics. When analytics was introduced in 1986, thanks to Davy Johnson, he was a genius at that time. Now, as Jay said a few weeks ago, and I know he'll say it again here, it's the overuse.
And to go along with that, and this is offensively and defensively, you get hamstrung by worrying about your analytics all the time.
Yep,
right.
You start overthinking everything.
You know the position that gets that gets hamstrung the most on analytics. Say it with me, gentlemen. Pitching.
Yes.
Because
you start getting in that 85, 90 pitch range, and they're like, "Well, I'm going to just go throw it all out now because they're getting ready to take me out of there." Or you get through the second time in the order, and it's time to take me out.
It's time to take time. And that's why pitchers don't pitch the way they used to.
They don't pitch for stamina. They don't pitch for endurance.
You wouldn't take Nolan Ryan out even when his team gets down 3 or 4 runs, but they come back and double up.
Right, because
could you imagine if a manager came out and took Nolan Ryan out after 60 pitches?
You know, man, Nolan Ryan would argue.
He would have cold cocked somebody.
Nolan Ryan would have done what he did to Robert Ventura to that
several times.
Exactly.
I'll give you the best. I'll give you the best example of a pitcher wanting to a manager wanting to remove a pitcher, and the pitcher said, "No, I'm going to finish this." Go back to 1991, Game 7 of the World Series. Scoreless tie after 9 innings. Tom Kelly, the late Tom Kelly, told Jack the Cap Morris, "I'm pulling you so we can get our bullpen into the 10th inning." And Jack Morris argued him to the argued him to the end and said, "No, I'm staying in and I'm pitching that 10th inning." So what happened? He gets a 1-2-3 10th inning, and the Twins win the World Series on what turned out to be a sacrifice fly.
As good as that, wall. You know darn well that could not happen today because people don't realize this. Managers rarely manage anymore because they get called down by the general manager during the game a million times.
Stolen
and they can't take it, and they can't take it anymore. You know, another fundamental, Victor, you read my mind.
I'll tell you one.
Another fundamental that's been taken away. Another fundamental that's been taken away because of analytics, and the White Sox are starting to bring back because of this 3-game series with Toronto. It's called the stolen base.
Oh,
what did Deet say? This
people ought to do it more.
What did Deet say 2 weeks ago? Get them on, get them over, get them in.
Get
That's
over,
always been.
It's all home run or bust these days.
But everyone wants to go for the highlight reel. Everyone wants to go for the long bomb. And it's like, that's fine in small doses. But you can't put your whole
example of that. A perfect example of that is Arias.
Go ahead, Jay.
Why is Arias playing for his 4th team in 4 years? He gets on base. I watched him play yesterday. He's always on base.
Right.
And he can't find
a
team
they give
that
up
wants
on
him. He cannot find a team that wants him. Because he's on a home run hitter.
Hey, Luis Urias, we got a spot for you on the south side because we're developing our love to run again.
Well, you got a whole lot of issues with south side.
Yeah. Well,
yes, we do.
Mainly, it's just hitting the run scoring position. There's no situational hitting. There's no situational vision for pitches because to see how many of those pitches at the White Sox were basically pitches you had no business swinging at, and they still swung and forced themselves to the ground.
Listen, that Miami series.
One of my bigger ones is not hitting your cutoff man.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to hit your cutoff man.
3 errors in one game against Miami. 2 of those is when they couldn't hit the cutoff man, and the throw went to the plate when it shouldn't have.
Yep.
2 of those 3 errors, all 3 of those errors that I saw in that game I did in Miami could have been prevented.
It's just very
Well,
disappointing.
you know why people don't hit the cut. You know why people don't hit the cutoff man anymore.
They're trying to make the play
And
for the
it's
highlight.
it's because of the greatest play in the history of baseball.
Jeter.
Where Derek Jeter, the throw missed the cutoff man by a mile, and Derek Jeter just happened to be there for reasons no one can explain. Derek Jeter just happened to be there to flip it to the catcher.
He knew where he was
for no reason.
Yeah. He knew where he was supposed to be. How many?
Derek Jeter was the shortstop. He had no reason to be there.
He had to back up the backup guy.
It was just instinct beyond instinct that Jeter said, "I better be there." The ball happens to get to him, and he flips it. And that's why Jeremy Giambi, the look on Jeremy Giambi's face when he got tagged, he was like, he's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, but he should have slid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Considering how Napoleon reacted, I'm guessing this is against the A's.
And a great tag at the plate by Jorge Posada.
But again, Giambi should have slid.
Yep. He slides. He saves.
That's why everybody's just trying to hose. Everybody's just trying to hose everybody instead of hit the cutoff and hit the cutoff. I mean, again, these are like we do football 101. This is baseball 101. Like this is stuff you learn in Little League.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
How many
times I played? Many times I played. I was that cutoff man.
How many times
you gotta hit your cutoff man? Go ahead, Victor.
How many times did we see that in Ho Chunk?
Oh my God, yes.
Fundamentals being played to perfection. That's another thing. Sliding. Why is it that people don't know how to slide anymore?
Nobody tries it.
Nobody tries. That's right. Nobody tries it.
Or a large part because there's nobody stealing any bases.
That's also true. It's like no one wants to steal bases. And remember, stealing bases was a weapon.
They're afraid that they're too afraid of getting thrown out and living for another day and trying again.
And trust me.
You know the best base stealer.
It's also the rules.
Mm-hmm.
The rules of baseball. I mean, just look at the play at the plate rule. That's a reason people don't slide is because they've taken the play at the plate. They've basically taken it out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
They've made that rule. They've made that rule about protecting the shortstop or second baseman in a double play. Like, no, the reason you slide is to break up the double play.
Right.
Like that's what you're trying to do. But they've made it so that if someone does that and somebody happens to get hurt, they're going to punish the guy who slid. So it's almost like
why slide?
It's almost like, hey, this is working against me here. But that's part of baseball. Like you slide in the second to break up the double play.
Love Gun Merchant mentions a comment, and we talk about this in college football every week. He says, imagine a world where state-funded attendance to sports games was part of the civilian life. Love Gun, and he says this is not a new idea. Love Gun, you're absolutely right. It's called the Southeastern Conference for football.
The SEC.
Well, he's got a case. He's got a case in saying that we're basically a state-run country right now.
Yep. Well, because we are.
Yeah, we are.
Think about the wrestling event that was in Korea, where everyone was expected to attend.
Mm-hmm.
That's another.
How about making the Army Navy game a one game day?
Yeah,
that makes no sense to me. If you're going to play on one day, that's fine, but you can't make it just one game.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
What? Well, don't even get me started.
Go ahead, Jay. That's why you're here. Go with
it. It's because he's allowed to get away with whatever he wants to do. Is why.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why was he getting involved with the NCAA this weekend?
Because he could.
I don't like the transfer portal either. I get it, but why is he getting involved?
No clue.
Because he can.
Don't we have bigger pride than his worrying about NCAA?
Right.
Look, if he's not attending the events, why should he care?
That's because there were petitions put forward by and I want to say it was the Big 12.
Why is he
the Big 12 commissioner put a commission and sent a report to the to Congress, and they actually had to vote on it. Like that's why it got through all the levels, and it got sent up to the president's desk. Like it's not just hey, they went to Donald Trump and Donald Trump went, I have to do this. It went through the Senate. It went through Congress and the Senate.
Congress can't do anything, so why are they getting involved with this? This is not even under their purview.
It is.
The same reason they got involved in steroids back in the day in baseball. Because
don't they have bigger? I want to say this one more time. Don't we have bigger issues to deal with?
Yeah,
there's no reason.
We have much bigger issues.
We do.
We got much bigger issues for them.
How about giving people health care for one? How about bringing down gas prices and grocery prices and rent prices and giving people free college giving people free health care?
How about giving disability?
Why are we in Iran? Why are we in Iran?
You beat me to it, Victor.
Whatsoever?
How about
Victor? Say that again, please. Victor, you got cut off. Say it again, please.
How about giving people who deserve disability get disability benefits?
100%. I'm with you 100%.
Because
how about
go ahead.
Pre-K, and women have a full year maternity leave.
Yeah.
How come they can't get Victor? Complete your thought. I know we ignore the complete your thought.
Who's on this show right now? Considering you have a surviving cancer patient,
absolutely,
cancer, and yet in what we consider one of the richest countries in the world, he can't get disability benefits.
I mentioned this on my Facebook page last night.
Okay.
I watch 60 Minutes every week. I beg people to watch the first story that was on 60 Minutes last night. It's about healthcare in this country. It is a prime example as to why we need universal healthcare in this country.
Yeah.
Just watch last night's first story, and you tell me what.
Let me say it like
So
this.
why is he getting involved with sports?
Let me say it like this, and this is very, very y'all know this is very, very personal to me. On Saturday, it was the 4th anniversary of my cancer surgery, and I'm still here. I was basically given a death sentence, and I'm still thinking of putting a lawsuit up Duke University Cancer Center's ass.
But I don't want to speak for you. Obviously, we're all glad you're still here. But you can't. I don't want to speak for you, but I imagine it cost you a whole heck of a lot of money and a whole lot of headaches. No
Do you know, Jay? That's only a quarter of the story.
I can only imagine.
We are still. I'm making a conservative guess because my wife is chief of finances in the household. We're still down $1.5 million.
I can only imagine. I'm sure you are.
Do y'all understand that we're still down $1.5 million?
You'll never be able to pay that off. There's just no way.
There's no way to. Plus the maintenance medicine that I have to take on a daily basis. The maintenance medicine.
And not only that, why is healthcare and drugs so expensive in this country? I mean, if you lived in another country, I'm sure your drugs and healthcare would have been much, much, much cheaper.
Yep.
Yeah, another thing Sig Diggy brings up. What about giving veterans better support in VA?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But since we're talking about all this, I just want to ask Jay one question because Jay, I'm on board with you. I'm on board with what you're saying, but here's all I have to say is, Jay, how many years has this been a problem?
For a long time, but at least
for a long time, right? And here's my point. And why you said it's a long time. You want to know what? We have had here in Connecticut. We have had the same person in the Senate my entire life.
Well, let's have term limits. I'm all for term limits for everybody.
That's what needs to change. We need people in there with ideas, because anybody who says, "Oh, it's going to change," it ain't going to change if we keep voting the same people in every single time. It ain't going to work.
I'm gonna say it like this: you want to really change it, you got to go local. Federal will only get you so far. You have to change. If your local administrators are not doing their job, you got to get them out of there. Because everyone wants to say about who the president is or who the vice president is. Doesn't matter. What really needs to happen is the local, because they're the ones that are on the boots on the ground. They're the ones that are going to give you the immediate change.
Well, I 100% agree with that. I'm all for voting. But everybody always talks about it's up to us. It's not up to us like it used to be anymore. When every district and every county is gerrymandered to the point where it's not accurate as to who's voting where.
That's true. Because zoning is always different. Voting zones are always different every year.
And
it's gerrymandered to the nth degree.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many times out of the 5 years that I have been here, you know how many times I voted in the same spot? Twice. Every other place I have had to go to a different spot to vote.
What's getting harder and harder and harder to vote when everybody should be able to vote? If you're a citizen of this country, you should be able to vote just like that.
You get no argument.
They want to pass this passport thing. I mean, nobody can afford a passport.
No, not anymore.
I don't own a passport, and I don't really want to go get one.
Going overseas or out of the country.
They want to pass this act. The Save America Act, which is ridiculous when there's no voting issues whatsoever. There's nothing wrong with just showing a photo ID, whether it be your driver's license or some other ID. But why do you need a passport or your birth certificate? I have no idea what my birth certificate is.
I have no idea about that either.
My parents both died. The house was long since sold. I don't know where the birth certificate is.
Right.
Why do you need? Why I just dealt with this a couple weeks ago. Why do you need a specialized ID to travel when I have all of my travel documentations with me?
I agree, 100%.
Like, they made me pay $45 to apply for something online that I already had in my wallet.
Right.
Right.
Well, it was the dumbest thing I've ever been involved in.
When it clearly says in the Constitution, you're a citizen from the minute you're born to the minute you die. You're a citizen of the country.
Yep.
I don't feel like I gotta honestly tell you after this health experience the last 3.5 years, I don't feel like one.
I totally understand. I get
Here's
it.
Here's the backwards part about this, and I tell very, very, very few people this part of the story. We're down very, very bad when it comes to medical bills. Okay, I've never made any bones about that. You want a curveball in this situation? People have told me for years, why don't you just apply for disability? About the fact that I did 3 separate times and got rejected 3 times. I made a phone call to a few. I made a phone call to a few lawyers. You know what they told me? They won't take my case.
And don't give you a reason why.
Meanwhile, billionaires don't have to pay taxes.
When you hear that, it hits you right in the jaw.
Think about this. Think about this.
And I'm like, why do I even? Jody's asked me this several times. It's when you get rejected for jobs, for disability, and all kinds of things like that. Why do you even bother?
Here's the crazy thing, Snowman. What if I told you that you probably would be more likely to get disability if you were over 650 pounds and eating fast food every day, rather than being a surviving cancer patient?
I eat fast food out of stress. Victor, you've known this for the 25 years we've been friends.
And I told you to stop doing that.
I know you told me to stop doing that.
But my point is that you have people who make bad decisions, like,
every day,
and they are able to get disability, but a person who fought a dreaded disease can't. Really?
A fellow who was told by Duke University Cancer Center, and I'll say it again, I'm thinking about sticking a lawsuit up their ass for telling my wife that there was no way they can work on the tumor that I had. And University of Indiana in Indianapolis went in and got this with no problem.
It's just aggravating. It's aggravating. But
you guys know,
you'd be able to get disability more if you told them you wanted to change to Brenda Snow.
Yeah, that's also true.
Are you serious? Wait a minute. Time.
If you wanted to TS, yeah, no doubt about it.
That is true.
Wow.
They would pay for your transitional surgery and any care you need after that.
There's an agenda in every part of the political spectrum. That's why I try to steer as far clear as I can, because there's always a doggone agenda for both sides. And you're looking like neither one of these things help me or help the people that I'm around. Neither one of these things are beneficial.
You know what? Before I even get heated,
vote one way or the other.
I mean, I do. To believe me, I do. It's just like
nothing gets heard.
Right. What did George Carlin say? Country bought and sold hundreds of years ago.
Long time ago. The blank they shuffle around every 4 years doesn't mean a thing. You know what? I am. This is what I'll end with. I am from the school of the Carlin. On election day, I stay home. There's no reason for me to vote again, because when you vote your interest, even on a local level, and I lived in Illinois most of my life. I've lived in Indiana the past 14 years. Nothing gets heard from the men.
Well,
Nothing.
I beg you to not to feel indifferent. I really beg you to vote one way or the other. Because if we get to the point where we're hollow and indifferent, then we're just dead as a country.
I'll put it this way: there needs to be a massive, almost Vince McMahon level shakeup within the political spectrum.
Well, we have his moronic wife who's the head of education. That's all you need to know.
I didn't say the McMahon need to be there, but I'm just saying it needs to be a massive shakeup. The same groups of people, the same ideas of people need to get shaken up. Otherwise, you're gonna get the same result.
Yep.
What is the term of insanity? Doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
Just ask the Cleveland Browns.
And now
Just ask the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Ask the Carolina Panthers.
Ask the Carolina Panthers, which is Jay's bane of existence. And we still don't know how the hell they won the South Division. They should have. You know what? Let's finish with this note. They should eliminate the South divisions.
Both South divisions.
Look, when I grew up, East, Central, West. Period.
Well, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about the two South divisions suck.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Cam Newton.
Like I said, I said, ask the Cleveland Browns, ask the Dallas Mavericks.
The South divisions do suck. But Jay, let's end with Jay. Who you got tonight?
Tonight?
Michigan.
Oh, Michigan for sure.
Michigan.
Yeah. Who you got tonight? UConn, Michigan.
If they play anywhere close to the way they played Saturday, they're going to win.
And they walked all over Arizona Saturday. They walked all over Arizona on Saturday. And I think Michigan's going to wind up winning the thing. After what I saw on Saturday night. We better get out of here. Jay Spivey joining us, as always, every single Monday. Jay, thank you very much, my friend. We love you. We'll see you next Monday.
All righty.
Thank you.
Hey.
To everyone who tuned in and offered their opinions via the chat, we thank you and we love you very much. My thanks to the panel that joined me, and I'll do a diary of a mad snowman before first pitch tonight on why I don't vote and how it has affected me. We're out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move, and always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. So long, everybody.
Say this is
Later on, you'll see Diary of a Mad Snowman, and I'll explain a couple of things about my health, and it's going to be, and I'm also going to include a call to action. Victor, what were you saying?
I say this is a joke and a joke only. If you want to vote for anything, vote for Jerry Jones out of the owner's box now.
See you later.